build it. Let's go.
Live with the Wolf Roll.
Let's go.
Let's go.
Y'all know what this is. Peace and blessings. It is your boy, Eli Rax, a.k.a. Vibes, and welcome to New York Revival, where it's not just sports, it's entertainment. And I'm here with my brothers, man. You guys know who they are. And that's Mr. Glass Half Full of Nets.
Speed the genius.
Oh
my. Oh my.
I like that. And shout out, of course, my brother El Jefe, a.k.a. White Jersey, a.k.a. Blue Jersey, a.k.a. El Jefe is in the building here tonight, people. And shout out to you. Yes, you, the revivalists in the chat. Please hit that thumbs up, share, and subscribe. We appreciate all the support, guys. We have a special guest in the building. We cannot do all the whole hoopla. We just got to get right into it and rip the Band-Aid off for you guys. So get in here. And, of course, if you're watching on Facebook, this is the first time we put the show on here. So please do whatever Facebook do to get the algorithms up for us. I don't know what to do. I don't
like it
up. I don't know this. All right, so like it up. All right?
Yeah.
But, of course, guys, if you don't know, now you know. This guy, they call him the guru of all draft prospects. When I mean he does his research, he goes under the rock, the pebble. He leaves no stone unturned here. My guy for football game plan at CBS Sports HQ. My guy, your guy, Mr. Emory Hunt. Round of applause, round of applause, round of applause, round of applause, my brother Emory. Thank you so much for being here, brother. How's everything? How you been?
Everything's great, man. Love the energy of the show, man. Awesome job, man.
I appreciate you, man. Now, listen, we're going to – okay, get it, Hef. I'm sorry.
You're the best intro guy in the game. I'm just going to say it. Everybody feels like $1 million as soon as you intro.
I mean, that's what they say. I don't know. Let's see if Brother Emory says the same thing when we get out of here. I'm just saying. But listen, Emory, man, thank you so much for being here. We're going to put you right into the gauntlet here. Why the heck not, man? But first, tell the people about yourself, man. Where'd you come from? What's your background? And how'd you get to this point in your career, brother?
I mean, keep it quick and simple. You're born and raised in New Orleans, played college football at the University of Louisiana. As you see right there in the background, and also what I'm wearing, the throwback Southwestern Louisiana sweatshirt. Started football game planning in 2007. Started doing video with football game planning in 2009 when YouTube first popped off. And then we started doing podcasts in 2011 when that first started popping off. Funny because back then, when I used to tell people I had a show and I was like, hey, it's on YouTube, and they're like, oh, it's on YouTube. And then I said I had podcasts, it was like, oh, it's a podcast. Fast forward, everything is on podcasts and YouTube. So it's funny to be a part ahead of the curve. But then I started doing college football games, broadcasting those games like in 2014 or 15. And then, just started consistently building. Now with CBS Sports, still doing my thing, calling games and still doing the draft guide, which we started doing a draft guide. For those that have been following me, that knew me on YouTube, they know I used to put my rankings out on my YouTube channel. And in 2020, when we all were just sitting down inside, finally was able to, because I've been flirting with the idea to do a draft guide since 2018. I had a template set up for it in 2018, but just never got around to doing it. And then 2020 had no excuse, but what else? I'm sitting around. Let me put all my stuff here and hash it out that way. And then boom, we've been putting out the largest draft guide ever since. And today was the release of the 2025 draft guide, which has over 1,200 individual scouting reports in it. So that's a quick way of saying where I came from and where I am right now. And folks, go get that at footballgameplan.com/2025 draft guide.
So you worked your ass off is what you're trying to say.
Hey, man, if folks don't have enough stamps in their easy pass, man, to keep up with what I do.
Let's go. I like that, man. And listen, guys, jump in if you got, because I got a million questions for our guy here. But now looking back, of course, on all, everything that you're putting your content on, Shedeur Sanders seems to be your guy a little bit here. But first, I just want to know, what is the strengths and weaknesses of Shedeur Sanders, especially after the pro days coming out? A lot of people wasn't too great about it. Some people were up on it. But just tell me the pros and cons of Shedeur Sanders when you look at his film here.
here's the thing, and everyone focuses on physical attributes for quarterbacks, and some justifiably so or whatnot. There's some baseline stuff that you need, right? But truly, and this is how I've always felt, this is how I've always graded, this is why my grades tend to look differently than everybody else. Quarterback play is all about situational football. Third down offense, backed up offense, red zone offense, in the game situations, need to have it situations. I mean, that's all Shedeur Sanders checking those boxes, right? How many times we tune into a Colorado game at like 3 a.m. out there on the West Coast because they start like kicking off at 11 o'clock Eastern time, and they're backed up on the 1 yard line, needing 99 yards to go to tie the game or win the game, and he drives them down there to go get the points, right? Or puts the ball back on the defensive side where, hey, just close up the game. I got y'all to lead. And sometimes they could, sometimes they couldn't. So he's always excelling in those situations. That's quarterback play. And this is what I saw from him at Jackson State in 2021, which I compared him to Joe Burrow then. The tweets are out there. You know, so I know nobody was watching Jackson State football, but then he just jumped on Shedeur last year when they played TCU. But he has been playing like this since then. So has Cam Ward. Both of these dudes, I was covering him at Incarnate Word. I interviewed him on my show when he was a freshman at Incarnate Word and was like telling everybody like this dude has Steve McNair-like skills. The tweet's out there. They can go find it. But now everybody's all about these two guys. But if you are studying how they play and what they were able to do in the situations they were in at small schools and then got the call up to go and transfer to FBS programs, these dudes got that it factor. And to me, that's worth his weight in gold.
That's what Giants fans like so much, or a lot of Giants fans like about him, is that he's been put in a lot of tough situations and he works his way out. And as you know, the Giants, all we have is bad situations. So it's like he's been preparing for this his whole life.
I've never seen someone complete 2 Hail Marys consecutively. You know, the dude dropped the first one and then he came back and completed the second one to a smaller dude. But again, it's weird because I've told people about Cam Ward and I've told people about Shedeur. It's like, you know, growing up, everybody was like, well, who you like? You know, Biggie or Pac. Like, I like both of them. Like, they got good. You can like both quarterbacks at the same time. So the trick is to make people be so tribal and pick sides. Like, no, both are elite first-round quarterbacks that would have went in the first round, high in the first round in last year's draft class. And the previous year's draft class, these are guys that have gone top 5 in any draft. So you can't go wrong with either one of these quarterbacks.
And what do you say to people that say, well, Shedeur played to a lesser competition at Jackson State and didn't really play much, of course, over there in Colorado? What do you say to those critics like that say, man, the competition just wasn't enough? How do we know he really is a legit number one according to what your eyes are telling you there?
Learn ball. Here's the thing. Like when you look at because traits translate, right? And you could only play with who you're playing with and what you're playing against, right? Because if you went out there and stunk, they would have used that. Well, he stunk against those guys. Yeah. Or if he went out there and balled out, well, he only balled out against those guys. When in actuality, again, I didn't say nothing about his arm strength, his accuracy, his running a bit, nothing physical. It's all here because that's all the quarterback position is at the pro level. Think about this, and again, because I've been in this game since 2007, I've seen different things happen. I've seen people call me crazy for things that in 2012, I had a first-round grade on Russell Wilson, who was my QB3 behind Luck and RG3. People say he's crazy. He's 5'10". Guess what? Who was the best quarterback out that class? Russell Wilson, right? Yeah. And so when you look at 2018, I just put a tweet out today to go back at somebody. It was like, or you just saying something to get clicks. Like just when I said this at the Combine in 2018, after speaking to Lamar Jackson, I don't care who drafts this dude, but whoever drafts this dude is going to be in the playoffs that year with him at quarterback, not another position. So again, if you're looking at how the makeup is and how the person is playing, because I didn't see and this, I've said this before on many different shows. I didn't know how good Shedeur was because I hadn't seen him play high school ball. I just assumed it was going to be some daddy ball situation because if he was, you know, that guy at high school, then why is only Florida Atlantic the one that's looking at him? And why did he commit there? I know they had the relationship, you know, with Willie Taggart, but man, Florida Atlantic. And then when he gets out there, you're like, oh, wow, that's a nice play he just made. And then you're seeing him play the game from the neck up. You're like, man, he's making some senior level throws as a true freshman. and didn't lose a conference game. In those situations, think about this. When you are Shedeur Sanders and your last name is Sanders, you're playing quarterback, you're the last son. Everybody is waiting for you to fail. Having that pressure, and then knowing that everybody on the other side, the opponents, are trying to beat you to show up, you and your dad, and you go out there and not lose a conference game, and you ball out, and then you go to Colorado and everybody, they're gonna get stumped by TCU, and then when they beat TCU, it's like, well, TCU wasn't that good anyway. So goalposts gonna always move. So if you just stay true to what you see and what you believe, and not what you hear, it'll show you 10 times out of 10 this dude is the guy.
Now, I got a question, because it's not all rainbows and sunshine, right? So Shedeur, there's no perfect prospect, I don't think, in this particular draft, and pretty much ever. What is there one thing that you think that Shedeur needs to work on to get better at the NFL level and develop? What would you say that one thing?
Knowing when to let dead plays die. And here's the reason why I think that's an easy fix. Because everybody, if you say Shedeur Sanders, first thing they throw back at you, he drifts in the pocket, he holds the ball too long. Well, guess what? The first thing he's going to do or have in the NFL that he didn't have at Colorado or Jackson State, so run game. So we're not going to ask him to throw the football 40 times a game. Going to cut that probably in half. He's probably going to throw like 25 to 26 passes a game, which means you're running the football, which means he doesn't have to try to play hero ball all the time. I said the same thing about Cam Ward. A lot of the same detractions I heard about Cam Ward, I heard about Patrick Mahomes, who I also had a high first-round grade on in 2017. He was my 1B to Deshaun Watson in that class, and people was like, you're crazy. Well, here we are. So, when you are able to do the job and you see things differently, you're able to then have, you can see what is fixable, what's coachable, and what is, hey, this is something that he can't overcome.
Totally agree. And guys, don't forget, man, we are speaking to Emory Hunt, man, from Football Game Plan and CBS Sports HQ. But just going through, of course, draft film, we're going to go to another position that Giants fans are also looking for is Abdul Carter. Just tell us a little bit about that guy. Is he the top 5 prospect that all these people are saying pretty much there? And let's just we'll get to the next question after this, but just tell me the make of Abdul Carter when you turn on that film and take a look at him there.
He's a tremendous talent, man, and people need to understand he wasn't playing. He was just playing this position this year, like he was playing off ball. So what we saw from Abdul Carter this year is totally new, and it's all upside. So the fact that we saw him is following the same blueprint as Micah Parsons was following, because he was playing off ball linebacker. We never really saw him put his hand in the dirt and be just a straight edge rusher at Penn State, but we saw that whole thing with Abdul Carter. So yes, Abdul Carter is a guy. And what I love about him is the fact that he has, and this is something I look for in any prospect I grade, is he has the great sense of timing. When you watch a game and you're just like, man, they need to play and boom. He is the one that makes the play, and that's the sense of timing that you like the great ones tend to have. Like, they need a sack here. Boom. He makes it. Or they need a turnover here. Defense for, what I'm saying? So Abdul Carter to me has that ability to really rise to the level of the occasion. And we saw it time and time again at Penn State, more so in my opinion than Micah Parsons at Penn State. Parsons was a better pro in terms of what we know of Micah Parsons than what he was at Penn State. He was a good athlete and was a good player, but Abdul Carter, I think, was a better prospect coming out.
True.
So the other, there's a third prospect that Giants fans are banging their heads against the wall for. Travis Hunter, obviously super intriguing. If you drafted him, say as the Giants, what would your plan be for him? Knowing that he can play on both sides of the ball, he can bring so much to the table. Where do you start with him?
Playing him on both sides of the ball. And here's why. And because people are worried about, people say, well, you can't play all those plays on both sides of the ball. You're right, because you won't have to in the NFL. The reason being, you don't get a lot of plays in the NFL like you do in college. And secondly, he's not going to be your number 1 receiver or your number 1 corner. So that cuts those 120 plays he played in college in half. So now he's going to get more of a break in the NFL. And you put him at corner, because here's the thing. why are you throwing that way? He's a legit wide receiver. Like, so you're not going to throw his way because when the ball is in the air, it's like he's en route. So he's trying to go get the ball, right? So you're going to avoid him, which now allows your defense to really take away a good portion of the field. It allows those other corners to really be more aggressive. And if you really want to tap into something that we hadn't really seen from him defensively, you got, let's say Paulson Adebo is back healthy 100%. And he's back to what he was before he got hurt with the Saints. And Banks is out there as your starter. Drew Phillips is your nickel. Where's Hunter going to play? Guess what?
Yeah.
Put him back deep and let him roam and go get the ball. You know what I'm saying?
Oh,
so therefore, he don't have to cover somebody. He's just going to get there and get the ball. Now where you going to throw the football if you are a quarterback, right? And if you also have someone that's slot dependent, that offense that, hey, we want to work the slot. Let's say they play Detroit and they want to throw Amon-Ra St. Brown in the slot and work the intermediate levels of the field. Boom, Hunter, go follow him around. You know what I'm saying? Now Goff has to go outside, right? Because Goff has to be consistently accurate, because if that ball is a little bit behind, guess who's catching that football? Hunter. Now, on offense, if you're your number 3, that means he's playing like the slot or something like that, and he's playing probably 25, 30 plays on offense, which then dictates coverage, because you're not going to put someone, you're going to try to bracket him. Cool. So now you have Neighbors one-on-one, and you have Slayton number one-on-one, and now you have quarterbacks that can actually throw the ball deep down the field. So now you really can't just crowd up and stop the run, because you have to worry about the deep ball with Russell Wilson and Jameis Winston, which then opens now the more creativity on offense, to where you're using Wan'Dale Robinson in more of a, tailback receiver role, as opposed to throwing him 75 stop routes a game because your quarterback is afraid to push the ball deep down the field. So
you've seen the Giants.
Opens up everything on both sides of the ball.
Love that.
I love it, man.
We got go ahead.
Yep, we got a couple things, man. Sorry about that, Hef. Sorry. Got a couple super chats in. I know we got Emory for a short time. Let's get to these supers, and then Emory, you just let us know when you're ready, bro. There's no problem. But hold on one second, guys.
Holy shit, a super chat.
There it is. We got some super chats here, of course, for our brother Emory Hunt, man. What you got there? Somebody read it up for me.
From our guy, K Sexy here. I'm a big fan of Jalen Milroe, but he clearly needs some development. What type of system do you think would be most conducive to him succeeding at the next level? Stop with the big words, K Sexy.
Good. He is learned. He's learning.
And I'm rewinding a little bit, because I said this on this was earlier in the process. I would say maybe January, when people were asking me. By that time, I had already graded quarterbacks. They asked me the top 3 quarterbacks. I was like, Shedeur, Cam, Milroe was my number 3. And Milroe would be the only quarterback I would feel comfortable with taking in the first round because of his physical traits. And I said, if I had my choice, because I'm thinking easily Shedeur Cam or Cam Shedeur going 1 and 2, in whichever order. So the Giants would be right there at 3. I would take Travis Hunter, and I would try to trade back in to get Milroe, because I would rather see Milroe paired with Daboll as opposed to anybody else, right? Because Daboll working with him. And now we fast forward to the Giants signing both Russell Wilson and Jameis Winston. Shedeur is pro ready. He doesn't need to sit. Cam is pro ready. He doesn't need to sit. Milroe is the one that needs to sit. And what better persons to sit behind than those 2 guys who can now raise the floor of the team? You're going to win games, but now Daboll behind the scenes is working on the footwork with Milroe, working on his short area accuracy. The deep ball accuracy is great, but he's working on the short game. Now you can work on that. These 2 veterans are essentially on 1-year deals. If you feel as though Milroe is ready in year 2, boom, throw him out there. You draft your QB of the future. You're off and running, right? While you're winning games. And I think that's the perfect pairing. The problem is now, we just saw a couple of days ago, maybe yesterday, they announced Milroe is going to the draft. So that tells you somebody else thinking the same way. Like, okay, somebody knows something. Maybe he goes in round 1. Maybe it is the Giants trading back in. Maybe it's somebody else we're not talking about. Maybe Pittsburgh is thinking about it, right? But I think Milroe paired with, because here's the thing with Milroe, and I've always said this: when we first saw Jalen Milroe in 2022, it was like, I don't know if this dude gonna end up playing quarterback by the end of the season. Like, it wasn't good. And then in 2023, We saw them go through their whole quarterback issue. They benched him for South Florida, struggled to beat South Florida, went back to Milroe, and they went on a tear. And they started winning games because of Milroe to the point where, hey, we can't win without him. He goes to the SEC title game, outplays Carson Beck, wins the SEC championship, has those guys in the playoffs, right? And this year, where people focus on where he had the turnovers, yes, turnovers were bad, but the touchdowns remained the same, and they were breaking in a new offense, right? So some of those touchdowns, some of those the turnovers were bad play. Some of it was him trying to figure out what they want to do offensively, right? But the turnovers had to get cut back in half like they were earlier in 2023. But what is it shows you Milroe is able to work on his game. He won the Campbell. I'm a Hall of Fame voter for the College Football Hall of Fame. So I'm a member of the National Football Foundation. I've gone to the William V. Campbell Award ceremonies. And I remember talking to this kid from this tremendous running back from Carnegie Mellon, Sam Binger. And I called his game when they played in the ECAC bowl game. And Sam was like, we interviewed him. I kind of like what you're doing. I was like, bro, you have a 4.5 in molecular biology. Go be great in life. Don't worry about what I'm doing. Like, you don't want this. Like, so that to have those, and it was crazy because up there you saw all of these. That's why schools go crazy when there's someone that's a semifinalist for the academic Heisman, right? Because that's just a crazy achievement. The fact that this dude won the award, Milroe, starting quarterback at a Power 5 program, pressure-packed program like Alabama, worked on his game, got better. Why wouldn't you want to gamble on a guy like that?
Especially when whoever you draft is probably not going to play much his rookie year, right? So even if it's Sanders, you'd rather maybe that developmental guy that allows you to get a stud aside from the quarterback position and then go get Milroe.
You can get Hunter and Milroe.
Yeah. And of course, we're going to, if you don't mind, just squeeze one more last question. And I do apologize, Brother Emory. But just let's just say, hypothetically speaking, this is what happened. This is the scenario in the draft here. Of course, you got Cam Ward goes number 1. Travis Hunter goes number 2. You got Abdul Carter. You got Shedeur Sanders. If you are the New York Giants, who you running to the podium for at this particular point?
If Cam and Shedeur are gone?
If Cam and
Hunter.
Yeah, if Cam and Hunter.
Oh, wow, and Hunter goes too? You got to take the quarterback. You take Shedeur. Okay. Yeah, at the end of the day, everybody always is funny. It's fascinating how the draft conversation tends to change every year. Like, because one year it's about, you need an athlete out there, and they focus on the guys that play within the pocket, right? And say you got to be able to move. Then last year it was like, well, you got to stay on schedule, got to stay on script, you got to play within the pocket, in structures, they like to say that all last year. And so now this year is back to, well, you got to be able to move. He's got to be able to build. Like, make up your mind, man. Do you want good quarterback play or not? And so if it's a quarterback league and you need a quarterback and you got 2 veterans that one is a little bit older, James is 31, but no one is really giving James a chance just to be the full-fledged starter because they don't trust him in terms of the turnovers. But at the end of the day, if you feel as though these are 2 stopgap options and you got a guy that's young that you've never drafted, a young quarterback of your own, take the quarterback.
Don't be afraid to take quarterback.
Okay, real quick before you go, because this is a defensive tackle draft. I love the defensive tackles here. Give us somebody at 34 you think might be there in a second round, first round talent that could be there at 34, and you pair next to Dexter Lawrence for the Giants. Who would be that guy for you?
Listen, because I'm glad you said defensive tackle, because everyone is focusing on Abdul Carter and well, if you draft him, you're not going to really be able to get all. Yeah, you can put all 3 out there, but you're not going to get the best of all 3 out there at the same time, because it's all 3 pass rushers. It's not like other guys that the Giants have had that can play kick down inside and play a 5 tech. What you're looking for is to recreate what Leonard Williams and Dexter Lawrence had, right? So in my eyes, someone like, there's 2 guys. In fact, if I'm the Giants, they could really just kill this draft and really just hit home runs because you can kind of get both of these guys and have both of the 5 techs now bookending Dexter Lawrence, and you still have Burns and Thibodeau on the edge. Because I'm a big fan of Ty Robinson. If here's the thing, before I say this, if people watch Shedeur, then they probably only watch 2 games. They watch Nebraska and then watch BYU.
Yeah.
If you watch Nebraska, then you probably saw number 9 just busting the entire offensive line of Colorado's tail all game long, right?
Yeah.
That's one dude that can play up and down the line of scrimmage. He's fantastic. And if you watch BYU, you probably watch Tyler Beatty beat the crap out of everybody along that Colorado offensive line. And he's another one that could play the 5 tech and can play it really well. So Giants can really come away with both of those guys and really just revamp their D line. Like those dudes are not going to be in the first round, but they can be in that second round, third round range, and you come away with both. And they're both guys that can win with power. Beatty can definitely. Robinson can do both. He can win with power. He can be a one gap penetrator. And now you just free up all kind of one-on-one opportunities for Thibodeau and Burns. And it's crazy. You know, it's really, and if they really want to trade back in the first without giving up so much capital, let's say they can't get, let's say the Browns are not stupid and they take, you know, Shedeur, right?
Yeah.
And you get Hunter, and then you now try to jump back in the first, and you know, let's say Pittsburgh takes Milroe, right? Whatever. But you try to jump back in the first, and you get Carson Swessinger, the linebacker from UCLA, who's a monster, right there in the middle. And then you double back in the back end, you know, round 2 and round 3 or whatnot, and you get Robinson and Beatty. That's just crazy. So that's the ideal situation. You know what I'm saying? But I like Beatty, I like Robinson as 2 D linemen that could really help out this Giants football team.
I think we need you to help out this Giants football team.
Please be the GM. Please, come on, be the GM.
Hold on, you're the running back though. Who are you banging the table for as your running back? There's got to be somebody you're banging the table for as a running back.
I said this was funny. I said Jaden Blue.
Okay.
Give me those guys that can score from anywhere on the field. The game is about points. Can you score? Can you take the ball away? And if you could hit that home run and ring that cash register up from anywhere, that's who I want. And my colleague Brian McFadden had the perfect player count for Blue. He was like, man, it reminds me so much of Chris Johnson. Sounds like the kind of guy I want. You know what I'm saying? Like speed kills. That's the one thing you can't. And again, you could pair him up perfectly with Tyrone Tracy. You know, that's what I imagine them doing with Dante Miller when they signed him before the draft, when he was in the draft class, right? Because he had that special situation because he was at the College Gridiron Showcase, and then next thing you know, I was like, oh, this dude from Columbia/South Carolina is balling. And then I was like, he got signed. I thought he's in the draft class, but he didn't play this year, so he was eligible to be signed. So they signed him. I was like, oh, this dude is clearly like a legit 4-2. And then when they draft, they're going to try to use both of them, or they're going to try to have him be the kickoff returner. And he had a great training camp, but then they just didn't use him during the season. Yeah, but you could do that with Blue.
I like it.
And of guys, of course, man, this is our guy Emory Hunt here.
Thank you.
Please, and listen, thank you so much for your time. Hopefully, we get you back on and get you a little more time here. But please, brother, tell them where they can find you, man. Please, if you can.
Follow me on social media at FBall Game Plan. You can go ahead and purchase the draft guide, footballgameplan.com/2025 draft guide. Now, the reason why I'm so high on the draft guide is because it has 1,200 individual scouting reports. I'm going to tell you guys why that's important, because you will see other draft guides that say we have over 500 prospects in the draft guide, but it'll be 250 grades and then 250 just lists. Like, no, every person. So this draft guide that I have, it's 1,210 prospects. So the total amount of pages is 1,253. So every player that's in here, you want to know about a defensive lineman, Arnold Young from Montclair State. I got a full scouting report. Like dead serious. You know what I'm saying? So any and this the reason why this guide is so impactful, and follow me when and read between lines, because not only will it help you for the draft and during the draft, but it helps you after the draft when the Giants sign these free agents. You're like, well, who the hell is this dude from West Florida that we signed? Pretty sure I got a grade on it. And then when it's week 6 and the Giants pick up somebody off the practice squad, like, well, who the hell is guy? He's in the draft guide. And it helps you understand the entire league. And if you watch Canadian football or UFL or the European League of Football, and dudes pop up on you like, oh, I recognize that name. He's in the guide. That it kind of helps you be a better handicapper too. So think about it.
You hear that, people? Emory's doing all the dirty work for you guys. Get that guide. You're gonna be like the talk of the town at your your gathering. So get that guide. Emory is the best in the business. Emory, I don't know if you know, we're going to the draft. We're representing the Giants in Lambeau Field. So look out for us up there, okay?
Oh, you won't see me in Green Bay. You'll see, I'll be in studio in Fort Lauderdale for CBS Sports, covering the drafts on day 2 and day 3. So you'll see me then. Good luck. Yeah, it's warmer in there, and it's hotel space. Like, I don't know what Green Bay was thinking. You know,
it's gonna be rough. It's gonna be rough.
It'll be rough, man. I'll tell you. But guys, of course, man, you guys know Emory Hunt, man. We want to thank you so much for being here. We'll see you on the next one, my brother. Thank you so much.
Appreciate y'all, man. Thanks for having me.
Thanks, Emory.
Oh man, Emory, man, that guy's the man. That guy's the man, guys. Did you guys understand what the research and the amount of time that he puts in, the homework and etc.? That's why they call him the guru. You understand this? You understand this? He knows his ish, man. He really, really does, man. So shout out to him, man. That is what's up, man. Wow, that guide. I think we're gonna have to get that guide here for a revival. I'm just saying.
Let's pull our money together and buy this guide. it's going to be a doozy.
Here because we could talk our mess, but man, there was so much stuff, man, that we could have asked him, man. But of course, guys, had a limited time here, so I think we got a good amount.
I got to apologize to the curveball. Happy birthday, by the way. He had a birthday this week.
Happy birthday,
yes.
But Emory only had 20 minutes. We kept him for nearly 30. So we had to biggie. Yeah,
you
but
could
he did speak to it. Yeah.
He said you could bump Travis Hunter inside. You could move him around essentially, and he actually said, this is the first time I heard this, you could kick him up to like a safety spot, like a money backer. Just put this guy in the field. He's going to make plays. And you think about it, if he's a star at wide receiver, why do these guys have to play cornerback? Because they can't catch the ball, right? So they switch him over. But this guy knows how to diagnose routes. He knows how to catch the damn football. And you put that guy on the defensive side, he's going to be a playmaker for you. He's going to be in the mold of a Diggs from the Cowboys. He's going to make plays, and when he gets that ball, he's going for the end zone. After that, like he's going to take that ball away. He's going to try and score. So that's the kind of playmaker that just makes you salivate. Like, so what I urge Giants fans to do is, I know we are obsessed over getting the quarterback. I know we want Shedeur, but it seems like we're working ourselves up so much that like we are just like poo-pooing like Abdul Carter and Travis Hunter, and I don't want that to happen because these guys are elite talents, and we should sleep well at night if we get one of those. And if Shedeur's not the pick, obviously, maybe if he goes 2, maybe we skip him. But these guys are really good. They're really good.
That's kind of where I'm at. Like, I can get behind any of the 3 we've been talking about. There's reasons to be excited about each one, and it doesn't make you a cop-out for saying I'd be good with any of those 3. Like, the fact is you'd be adding a super talent to your team either way. And if you're on the fence about Shedeur, he has the potential to be the quarterback for a long time, and he brings you some life at that position and some hope for the future at that position, which the Giants don't have at all. And it's something that they've more or less ignored for the last 4 years, right? They haven't drafted one since Daniel Jones. You got to take swings. It's the most important thing in all of sports is the quarterback. And
does Milroe satisfy you if that's the pick?
If they're able to get like Hunter, assume Hunter Carter in the first, and then they get Milroe with that second pick, whether they have to move up or not, whatever, that's enough to be excited about. You've got somebody he'd be the QB3. He's going to develop. And again, you still have hope for the future. That dude has a world of upside. Mm-hmm. And you just heard Emory go on and on about him. So that's still a reason to be excited. Yes, absolutely.
And listen, man, and to the Giants fans, if that scenario doesn't play, because a lot of people want Shedeur, a lot of people want Abdul, a lot of people want Hunter. Whatever it works out to be, you guys are absolutely right. You're getting a good player here that's going to contribute away. You know what I mean? A great player, especially if it's Hunter, right? He's going to come in here. He's going to contribute right away for this team, and they still got to get those. And listen, I'm a Jackson Dart guy, but I believe my guy Emory. I do. He hasn't been
But look,
wrong yet.
He
But
didn't
let me
even
say this.
mention. He didn't even.
No, he
mention
didn't even
Texas
mention
Tech.
him. So listen, if it's Milroe, just give him time. I say to Giants fans, don't ask for everybody to be fired. Don't ask to blow this up. Don't ask. Let them develop their guy for a change. We're just gonna have to wait the process. It's taking a little bit longer than usual. Why? Because Daniel Jones won a freaking playoff game. That's the reason why it's longer than usual. All right. But we're gonna give these guys some time and just wait it out, especially if we're getting all these great players. If we get a Hunter or whatever the guy you're looking for, just got to give it time, man. You got to be excited about the future, especially if he gets those guys that we're looking for, a quarterback and a cornerback / wide receiver. Come on. You got to give this regime some time. They're cooking. They're really cooking. At least I give them that.
Let's see, man. If it's Hunter or if it's Shedeur, if it's Milroe, if it's Dart, I can get behind all three of those guys, right? Because you know, just have Cam off the board because I mean that's a consensus number one. That's it. It's over with. You know, that dream has died. But like those guys, I can get behind them because they're coming also with an elite defensive player along with that. You know, like most likely, be it Carter or Hunter, whatever it is. That makes the team that makes the team better defensively, which is a strength currently, makes the strength even better. And then you're still looking, you got a future quarterback in the fold that doesn't have to see the field year one, or you could spot him in here and there, whatever you want. That guy could just sit, learn under Russ, Jameis, and Dable, and then you maybe throw him in there week 17 if we're out of it, you know.
No, we're going to have plenty of big leads. We'll let them take some snaps in the fourth quarter.
Right. Exactly.
When it doesn't matter, right? We'll let them do that. Preseason's
TK's tired of waiting, and I get it. You know, I think that's part of the. I bet some people are just like, take Shedeur. If it's even a question, just take him. Like you've ignored this position long enough, and there's no guarantee that you can move back in and get the guy you want later on. The one guarantee you have is if he's available when you're on the clock, take him. That's the only guarantee.
And I want to play the scenario out, right? Because that's, I think, what the mindset is for a lot of football Giants fans right now. It's like, we haven't taken a swing. We have to take a swing, so take them. But hear me out. Isn't that like what we killed? Yeah, isn't that what we killed Shane for?
The problem is we forgot to swing since having one bad at bat.
Yes. No, we've killed Shane for drafting for need, right? Like that's one of the biggest knocks on him recently is that he only drafts need, and isn't that what we're doing at number 3? If we take Shedeur, who clearly isn't a top 10 prospect on most boards, right? So we are just saying, hey, we need a quarterback. That's and we haven't taken one. We have to take one now. Isn't that process in your mind? I know we want a QB, but isn't that process what got us Daniel Jones?
Pretty much. I mean, yeah, it's a slippery slope. I mean, this is what we've said is the Giants made their bed. But I think at this point, what Emory was saying, and that's somebody that I trust as someone who has 1,200 pages of draft knowledge, is that you draft traits. And everything he said about Shedeur and the traits that he has is worth the risk, in my opinion, being it's the most important position. He's been in the limelight since he was born. So New York is not going to scare him. He's beyond confident. And he's got that it factor, right? When a big moment, he's seen old lines crash before him. He doesn't panic. He makes a play. And the things that he needs to get better at, he can, and he'll have time to do that. So in my opinion, it's worth the risk being at the importance of the position. It's just a draft pick, guys. Evan Neal was a draft pick. Yeah. It's okay.
That's facts. No, you're right. And they need to, like, he's tough, he's dependable, and he wants New York. Those things, like a lot of the things that I love Shedeur about, it's not like elite arm strength. It's everything else. It's like the mental makeup. It's how tough he is. How he built 2 programs essentially, from the ground up with Jackson State and Colorado. Like everything else, every intangible you need a good quarterback to have, Shedeur has that, right? And it's not something that's like just like, hey, he's got a big arm. It's not. A lot of guys come in the league with big arms and they fail miserably. It's the processing part. It's the mental part. It's the feeling the pocket that he's got to do a little bit better on that. But it's like he throws with anticipation. You can't teach that guy.
Exactly what I was going to say next. Give me a quarterback with touch and timing and accuracy over the big arm any day. Give me the quarterback who's smart and understands what the defense is about to throw at him and knows where he wants to go.
Shedeur Sanders.
Give me a guy that doesn't stare down one receiver. Give me a guy that can call an audible because he's got the balls and the knowledge to do it. Like, that's who I want under center, not some guy who can fire the ball 85 yards just to do it.
Facts.
Hold on, Hef. Do we have to catch up, brother? I don't know if
Holy shit, a super chat.
we have to catch up. I think we got something in here. Let me see, man. Oh,
So there's a
curveball.
couple of things. There's a shoulder, which I think it's been a repetitive thing now. I think he's had 2 injuries on the shoulder, which kind of worry me. But even more worrisome is the news that came out about his foot. He's got I believe it's a stress fracture in his foot, which. You know what? It just, and I've said this since the beginning now for 2 months. So ever since that news came out, it's like the Giants are going to draft Abdul Carter, and that surgery is going to happen April 26th. Somebody said, it's going to happen the day after. We're going to lose his rookie season, and losing a rookie season of a star like Abdul Carter, kind of like it's a waste of a draft pick at that point, right? Like it almost feels like a waste of a draft pick, even though it's not, but it just feels like it because you don't know if he's going to get that explosiveness back. It's a risk. And can the Giants afford to take a risk at number 3? Like, no. I don't think they can. And that's what scares me on that.
Well,
and this is the reason why I'm like, okay, if Shedeur's there, you go with the quarterback because of the injury history that we have. Again, he's just one tweak away for him sitting for the rest of the year, right? So why bring somebody in here with that type of history? Again, I understand that he's a great player. That many would think, yes, and he is a great player. But I'm like the Giants need someone to come in here and be effective now. Not saying, look, he can have a healthy year, he can. But I'm just saying that injury history. He'll go to
the Patriots. Yeah, he'll go to the Patriots or the Jaguars and be completely healthy, all pro. Like
exactly what I was going to say.
Yeah.
Exactly right. It's only a concern if he goes to the Giants because then it'll creep up and
right. So I think we've all circled around to, I think, listen, we all want the quarterback position to just be, locked up. Like you've got now your present and future if you get Shedeur Sanders. If not, I think we're all on the page that Travis Hunter is who we like second best. Are you still, Jeff, on the Abdul Carter trade?
No, in real life. I mean, that was for a bit.
No,
right?
Just, yeah.
If it's Hunter or Carter both on the board, I want Hunter.
Okay, all right. I think and
should Carter go 2? Then it becomes really, really interesting.
Yeah,
it does. Listen, if Carter goes, I'm sorry, that was the question. If Carter goes 2, and you have Hunter and Shedeur, wow. Yo, Spee, and we talk behind the scenes about this, man, and we're gonna bring people in just a tad bit here, just a tad bit. All right. It's gonna be crazy for me to say this, guys, because I know a lot of people want this guy, but I'm taking Hunter here. And the reason why. All right. I know I'm supposed to say Shedeur. And listen, I would love Shedeur. I love Shedeur.
Say what you want.
Shedeur is great.
Yeah.
But you got to go with the better player, right? Because you still have those other guys in the later round, hopefully, that could do something for you. So just thinking about it, the best player at that position that's going to give you kind of double bang for your buck at some point will be Travis Hunter. So, of course, that'll be the safer bet. But for what Eli wants, I'll take Shedeur. Let's say that.
Jeff, combat it. What do you got?
Here's my thing, because Hunter's just such an exciting prospect of what he could do on both sides of the ball. But here's my thing. Say you take Hunter and you get mediocre at best quarterback play and the Giants go on to win 4 or 5 games. Okay, now Hunter's rookie year is done. Sure. Now you're drafting a quarterback for sure. And now he's a rookie. And maybe Jameis Winston is starting and you win 4 games. Okay, now Hunter's in his 3rd year. So, nothing moves the needle until you get the quarterback right. We added Malik Neighbors and he was phenomenal. And it didn't matter. It didn't translate to wins. So nothing matters until you get the quarterback. And that's why I say it's that position. It's so fucking important that you have to take your best shot at getting it right and don't be afraid to. So Hunter is a phenomenal prospect, but I don't think he's going to equate to a ton of wins for the Giants like a quarterback would.
But do you think Shedeur is going to equate to a ton of wins? Do you think he's playing week? When do you think Shedeur plays?
That's not for this year, right? Like it could be later in the year. It obviously depends what we get from Russ. And
well, then it begs the question: you're now wasting a year of Dexter Lawrence and another year.
We've wasted every year of Dexter Lawrence.
Yeah, well, that's
right? But listen, if the Giants are winning and they're on a win streak and they're 5-6 games and they're winning, and it's middle of the season, of course you go with the hot hand. You keep Russell Wilson in there. But if the Giants are stinking up the joint, Russell Williams stinks. There's going to be a lot of calls like, okay, where's Shedeur? Where's James?
Oh, yeah, that'll be happening.
That's when you put these guys in. And if Shedeur has a spark, my God, that can save a job too. No matter how much it looks bad in losing, if he provides a spark, comeback win, just one of them, those guys are staying for the rest of the freaking probably 2 more years after that.
Yeah, well,
we got it right. We got it right. You know what I mean?
If they want job security, find yourself a quarterback in the first round, right? You get 5 years of this guy. If they show just a blip, even in practice, for that matter, preseason, you've earned yourself another year, right? Like there's a good chance you've earned yourself another year. That quarterback is job security at the very least.
That's exactly what we were saying before last season.
Yeah, we did.
They have to take a quarterback because it's job security, and that quarterback would have gotten to play down the stretch. We were going from Drew Lock to Tommy DeVito back to Drew Lock. We were a fucking mess. That quarterback would have gotten time, no matter who it was. That could have been the flash, even with the same win total. That could have been the flash and what you needed to be excited that you have a quarterback to
And
build.
why didn't they get that quarterback? Because they played games. Apparently, they liked Penix. They thought he was going to be there later on. Look what happened. They played with fire. They got their neighbors, but they couldn't get their quarterback. You can't be in a position where that happens again. That's the case for Shedeur, right? Like you cannot let the quarterback slip through your hands one more year. So it's got to be it.
Did I get the order wrong for you guys?
No, we said Carter. If Carter goes, is what we said before. We've done like every scenario. If Hunter goes to, this is kind of what we're expecting here. Yeah, Sanders, or Carter. If
that's the case, if Sanders and Carter, then you go with Sanders. Hands down. There's no debate for me right there.
It doesn't seem like, and again, the vibes could be wrong. Again, and Shefty's put out 100 different scenarios, over the past 3 weeks, but he's now saying it doesn't look like Browns want Sanders. So he will be, but he also said it doesn't look like the Giants are going Sanders. So I don't know, man. Like it's weird. Do you like Sanders or not? And if you like him, you can't let him go after 3.
I think they like him, but they haven't done a single thing to make you think that they love him, right? There hasn't been a single rumor that they tried to trade up with the Browns that I've heard. Certainly heard the Titans. They brought in 2 veterans. They went after Stafford. They went after Rodgers. Now you bring in 2 veterans. None of that says I want Sanders at 3.
Do you take a guy that you like, or do you bet? Would you have to love him?
I'm just trying to read the room.
Yeah.
It seems like they're not in love with Sanders for whatever reason.
I don't know why. Or this is either a great smokescreen, or they truly don't love Shedeur. I truly don't know. But why would then Dave will pack his bags and go to that pro day, right? Why did it all of a sudden? Did he have doubts?
I mean, you got
further cementing.
I guess there's two guys to go see there, right? That you could potentially have a shot at. You want to get closer to him, get a better feel. Why not? What else did he have going on?
True.
Now let me tell you, conspiracy theory Eli.
Oh shit!
A little bit here. Just saying.
Oh
get
shit!
Get in your bag.
Just saying. Now let's just say, right? Because everybody's talking about the pro day. I was like, man, it just was underwhelming. Because you looked at, Cam Ward, and he threw it off his back leg, and he's like alley-oop, and he's talking all these fancy words behind the back. Like he's going crazy in his pro day, right? And you look at Shedeur Sanders, and you're just like, all right. So some people thought it was a little underwhelming, but just the magic conspiracy theory Eli would say he threw his pro day just a drop to go to the Giants, and then so be it. Here you go, Hunter's gonna go number 2, and I'm like, I wonder. Because his tape is different from that pro day. I just wonder. You throw your pro day, drop your stock a little bit, Giants take you. I'm just saying. He wants to go to the Giants by any means necessary. Conspiracy theory Eli says this.
That's crazy.
His pro day. He threw it.
That is crazy.
What I do know is if he's not the pick at 3, we have to stay the whole night in Green Bay first round because some crazy shit might happen.
Like Emory said, like if you don't go quarterback, be on the look for the Giants to jump back in. And what a draft to go to if we wind up getting 2 draft picks out of it, out of the first round. We're only there for the first round. One thing about Shedeur that I liked that came out, and I've never heard a quarterback say this before, and a lot of guys maybe decide not to throw at the combine and wait for the pro day, be in their comfort zone, right? The receivers that they know. Did you hear what he said about why he chose to do that? He said a lot of his receivers weren't invited to the combine and haven't gotten this close a look. And this gave all of his guys a chance to get the spotlight on them and maybe get considered. It could be a late round draft. It could have changed someone's life. You never know. But like, I've never heard a quarterback actually say that before. And I love that. I love that from him.
And he, you know what, to his credit, he always big ups everybody. He doesn't throw people under the bus. He even said, I don't know why Will Howard isn't getting more love. Like just today, you know, this guy, he's not going to throw his teammates under the bus. He's a great teammate by all accounts. You didn't hear a bad word about him, you know, from his teammates at Colorado, Jackson State, you know, but so he's going to be a good pro. He's seasoned by Deion Sanders. People look at the Deion Sanders as a negative. I look at it as a positive. He's seen every locker room that he's need to see. He's seen his dad do every interview that he had to see. He is trained. He is well versed, and he's gonna be a consummate pro. That I don't question that at all. Like I have no question about that. That's a huge part of it too.
And Spee, I hate that. That bothers me to no end. Where they're like, "Oh, his dad is gonna come in here and do." His dad just wants what's best for his son, and I don't think he's gonna come in here and start showing his weight, talking about, "Oh, Dayball, you need to do this." He's gonna get the hell out of Dayball's way and let him coach his son. It's that simple, guys. Like I just don't think what you like. Of course, he cares about his son and wants to put him in the right situation. Don't get it twisted. Every parent wants that for their kid. You get what I'm saying? But as far as what you guys think, like he's just gonna be just in everything of what the Giants organization is, you are sadly mistaken. Don't forget who you root for, the Giants. We know what the Giants do. We know their pedigree. We already know it's all about inside and forget everybody else outside. What more do you guys need to see? So you really think Deion Sanders is going to come in from the outside and poke his nose in the New York Giants business? You got another thing coming. So all the people are saying, oh my God, the dad's going to come in. Stop. Shut it up. Stop it. Please, for the love of God. I'm tired of seeing that on my timeline. Y'all crazy. Draft that kid. If he's your guy, draft that kid. That guy's a leader of men, man. He's going to come in here and be mature early because he learned it from his dad. What do you expect? His dad's a professional. Anywho, my bad.
That's say Deion's not trying to get the head coaching job for the Giants. He
just signed an extension. He's making $8 or $9 million a year for the next 5 years, something like that. He's busy. Good. He's got stuff to do.
You got a Tuto.
Spearho's favorite.
We got a Tuto. Let's go, Tuto. Appreciate
$2
million. The best. Salutes and respects to NYR fam and crew, Hefe, Spee, Eli, and all diehard fans across the pond. Greetings from our entire rugby club, currently in Johannesburg, South Africa. Look at this guy. That's so awesome. You know, I'm jealous of being able to travel the world, play sports, like destroying all Springboks and D Battlefield.
Shout out.
He said he's got it. Thank you, Tuto. We love you. Look at this. He said it's 3:24 a.m. and they're all watching the show.
Oh, shout
all
out
you guys
on the rugby team, man. Shout out to you guys, man.
Kick some ass out there. You know we got you. Hell yeah.
Guys, there's a couple. Okay, I'm sorry.
I was just say, can you, Tuto, is that you in the picture? I just need to know if you're.
I need to know if that is your back.
This is like savage as fuck too as a shirt. Good Lord. Look, I never want to go. I would never want to fight Tuto.
Jerry, thanks for joining. It's 9:25 here in New Jersey.
Yes, it is.
Get an air hose in that too, Jerry. Oh God.
The best.
I think he might be coming with us. Right? He might be. We won't say that yet. We'll talk behind this.
Don't drop it.
I'm not gonna drop it. Not gonna drop it. But yeah, guys, I want to talk about a couple things, man. Ja Morant, man's in the headlines again. Ja Morant. I don't know if you guys saw, but he just got fined another $72,000 for doing a gesture that is intimidating of a firearm on the court. And that he's at this point where he's on his social media, he just doesn't care anymore. The fact if he's getting fined or whatever the case is. But I just want to go around the room, man. How do you guys feel about that? John Morant's at it again. And I'm gonna start with Mr. Glass Half Full, brother. What you got?
I mean, it sucks because I think like he's like at the point where he's like, I'm getting paid. I'm one of the stars of the Grizzlies. I don't give a shit, you know. And you hate to see it because like from your star, the face of your franchise, you want to see a guy that gets it right. You want to see a guy that learns from his mistakes. And I'm not saying do this for the kids, but like you want to see somebody that is conscious of his mistakes and his career and is grateful for it. And this guy just seems to be trying to piss it away.
He can't help
it nonstop. He literally can't help himself. It's not like a thing where it's like it's so hard. It's you're firing a gun. There's so many other celebrations you can have, and you choose to go back to that. You have to, right? Like there's other thing in your mind that you could think of. I don't know. To me, it's just like it's like you're a dumbass. You're a dumbass. Like, that's the face of my franchise, and he's a dumbass. So I don't know. That's my take on it. Maybe that's old school way of thinking. I want my face of my franchise to be smarter than that. That's what I gotta say.
Yeah, like I'd be fine if everything that happened and then he grew up a little bit and moved on. Like, yeah, we'd remember, the videos we saw and whatever. But like to go back to that same well that got you so much negativity and money out of your pocket. Granted, he's so rich, he probably doesn't care. Yeah. But it's still money, right? 72 grand. He probably spends that in a weekend. But I mean, it's still money out of your pocket. So it's just frustrating because he's so fun to watch that you don't want to think about guns when you watch him play basketball. You just want to enjoy how fucking talented he is. So it's just, I'd be frustrated if he was, on the Knicks or something like that. So it's just like, just learn your lesson. Just move on.
Agreed. And listen, and guys, if you don't mind, just give me a couple seconds here. If you don't mind, a couple minutes. As much as I want to be a regular guy, which I think I am, I go and punch in and out of a clock every day, and I go do my regular job and feel as regular as possible. But then when I'm off or in between that time, I have a 41.3 thousand followers on X alone. As much as I think I'm a normal guy, I have to understand that I have a platform, right? So I got to move and keep things in mind. Not only for myself, but for the people that follow me. I set a precedent out there. Now, I'm nowhere near Ja Morant. He got probably millions. And, buddy, you got kids that are looking at you every day. So you are a role model, whether you like it or not, for the same reasons I just said. You feel like you're just playing basketball, doing what you love to do, doing the favorite sport you grew up playing. It's normal to you. But you have to understand it comes with a following. It comes with a platform. It comes with responsibility. I don't know how old Ja Morant is. I don't know. And it's neither here nor there. But at some point, you have to mature and get older.
25.
25.
That's going to be my guess.
I had my first child at 25.
Damn.
And what I mean, life hits you. Life hits you. And if you can't figure it out at 25 years old, and listen, it was growing pains for me. I didn't have the squeaky clean as you guys see it today. I didn't. You come out to where I live at, I'll show you a couple things. I didn't have that. So it was a struggle to figure it out. But guess what? I had to figure it out, and I had to mature quickly. And I did. Why? Because I had to represent what my daughter's going to be bought into here. And I have to move with a different type of posture. And now I have some sort of platform or social media. Kids and kids of America understand this. And I'm talking to preferably my brothers and sisters in the black and brown community. The obsession with firearms have to stop. Now, don't get it twisted. I believe in my amendment rights. I believe in the right to bear arms. But the way you guys are carrying and celebrating firearms and gun gestures as if it's like a badge of honor, it's totally wrong. It's just not right to do. It's immature. It's not like you're doing it for sport or hunting or something. You guys are killing one another with these things. All for what? Social media likes and follows. And what is it for? So Ja Morant, The only thing you're doing is being part of this vicious cycle that we see in the hood every day. And you have a platform where it's magnified every single day for these kids in the hood that's gonna look at you and be like, yo, he's doing it. I need to go get me a switch. I need to go get me a firearm. I need to get this extendo. These guys know more guns, what caliber is what, than they probably do in books that they need to read their freaking math or their arithmetic on. They probably do. If you go in there and talk to the youth, and some of the times that I do, and these I talked to plenty of troubled youths before in the past, plenty. And they know this, and they can't even read some of them, but they know what a freaking 50 caliber pistol is. It's a shame. So when you have a platform like that, you have to mature. You have to understand, like, man, I have a responsibility, whether you like it or not. Ja, I'm telling you right now, you are spiraling into your demise. You're only hurting yourself and the people that look up to you. When is enough enough? When something happens to you, you know what they say? Hard head makes a sore ass, right? Or soft ass. So you're just going to keep doing it until something happens. Brother, then I'm telling you, that's nothing but around the corner. You're a privileged kid that got talent, a multi-millionaire. You're part of that 1 percentile. Keep it there, brother. I'm trying to fight to get where you're at. Not by doing stupid that you're doing now, though, brother. Ja, get it together, man. Please, for the love of God. You got that platform. It comes with great responsibility. Please, man. I can't stress this enough. Enough with this stuff, man, especially in my community. Enough of this bullshit. Killing one another and want to be flashing all types of guns. Man, you out your mind. Especially a basketball player. A basketball player? Go play ball. What's wrong with you?
Yep.
But anyway, that's all I got to say. I'm sorry, y'all. My bad.
No, preach, bro. We love it.
It's your show. It's your show. Right on. Do you feel better now, Eli? I feel like sometimes it's just best to just get your popcorn and just let it happen and just let them go. You know,
I have to. It feels great now because I hate people like that has this great platform and they reach levels that it's hard for many people to reach, and they're gonna piss it away by doing stupid ish, man. I just can't stand it. I hate it. I really, really do, man. It's like someone else can be with that like someone else can have that blessing, and you're just pissing yours away. You know what I mean? So I just hate that, man. But
you know what? It's just a sense probably of some kind of entitlement or power. You know, like from the time he was probably 15 or 16 years old, probably knew he was on the track to go pro. Right. And then did he even play a year in college?
He did. He wait. Hold on. I'm pretty sure he went to college. Yes.
Lying here. I ain't gonna even try.
Yeah, Murray State. Yes, he did. He was a stud at Murray State. I remember it. Yep.
Yeah, so he's just on that track, and then I don't know, you just get cocky, you don't think you can be touched, and it's just on a much lesser scale. It's like as Giants fans watching Kadarius Toney just do the dumbest shit off the field, and it's like you have ability unlike other people. You know, still I was holding out hope for him just because of the way he moved, and he was impossible to stop on a dime after going full speed and break out. Like he could have been phenomenal. He could have been an absolute weapon for a decade, and he just dumb shit. Whatever.
And listen, he's the type of kid, right, that's going to be out the league, and then another 3 years later, he's going to try to come back, and he's going to miss his opportunity. He's going to be like, damn, like I wish I'd have did this and did that, and like you had your opportunity. It's not like
blew it.
You blew it. So Jai's well on his way.
If I'm not mistaken, Kadarius is already out of the league and just got arrested again. He's done. Big news in the sports world.
Yes.
Ovechkin breaks one of the most epic records in the NHL of 895 goals set by Wayne Gretzky. Is it 30 years ago? Is it that one?
Yeah, that sounds about right. Yeah, that
definitely sounds right.
So he broke it the other night. One thing I respected down the stretch, as they knew he was getting close, he was going to pass it. He wouldn't go on the ice towards the end when the other team pulled their goalie. He didn't want it on an empty net, which I respect the hell out of. And Spiro, you know, we talked a bit before. He did get a lot of power play goals. For me, that's part of hockey. That doesn't bother me in the slightest because those goals are available to every other hockey player. He got them.
Right.
I mean,
Fair.
unless you're going to tell me his team had quadruple the amount of power plays, which I highly doubt. He just scored on them. So good for him. I don't take anything away from the record. But what do you think, Speak?
Yeah, no, I mean, listen, first of all, I've loved Alexander Ovechkin and just the reckless style that he plays, the fun, loving kind of maniac Russian that he is. I love every bit of it. I'm so happy for the man. He is the best, like, again, and obviously he got the record, but like he's a pure goal scorer, right? Like there's no doubt about what Alexander Ovechkin's game is. He's going to score goals and shitloads of them. And for him to be at this age, I believe, how old is he? 39 years old, to put up 42 goals as a 39-year-old is out of this world. It's out of this world. But he's the kind of guy I was like, I had never had a doubt when he was getting close that he was going to break it, right? Because pressure doesn't seem to get to a guy like him. He's too crazy, too wild to even worry about that, right? Like some people, you worry about their mental, like, is he going to get to it? No. I was like, when he hit the tie the last game, I was like, he's breaking it the next game. Like you kind of just knew it. And I just love it. But we got to put the context here because a lot of people are like, oh, he beat Wayne Gretzky. That means no, he's not a better player than Wayne Gretzky. Because let me tell you how Gretzky also coupled that 894 goals with 1,900 assists. 1,900, to put it into context, Alexander Ovechkin only had 724 assists. So 1,200 more assists. Gretzky's game was more of a playmaker assist guy than he was a goal scorer. That's what makes his 894 goals out of this world ridiculous.
Because he made everyone better around him too,
while scoring all those goals.
Yeah, insane.
It's just insane.
Eli,
so you can have two things there.
I got a question.
Go ahead.
Yeah,
I got a question. I got a question for Eli because I don't know if you saw the clip of the moment Ovechkin scored his goal and broke the record. He dives on the ice. His whole team is instantly out there jumping around with them, the team together. And a lot of people are drawing parallels to LeBron because of their age, longevity. LeBron passed Jordan and everyone else. You know what I mean? So there's parallels to be drawn there. But when LeBron had his moment, the basket goes in. He walks down the court by himself.
Ran away from his teammates.
Ran away from his teammates, hands in the air, like, look at me, look at me.
Yeah.
Your thoughts?
All right. Okay.
Go.
Ran away from his team. Listen, LeBron, and listen, let me make this clear. First and foremost,
I put you on the spot so bad.
Yes, hold on, but wait. Hold up. Let me make this clear. Jordan's the GOAT. Let me make this clear. Jordan's the GOAT. I don't care what record he broke. But with that being said, listen, sometimes certain moments call for you just doing it alone. All right. And LeBron, he's that type of guy that scored and he elevated everyone around him. All right. So it's not like it was, off an assist or whatever the case is. The guy really puts a team on his back. So if he's dropping that bucket, he probably was like, y'all want to thank me and only me right now. You get what I'm saying?
Well,
that's what he got from it. I can't be mad at that.
Everyone knows that's true. Like everyone knows he's that dude. So if it were me and I was LeBron, I would enjoy the moment more if I didn't make it about me, if everyone just knew it was,
Right. Fair.
That's
LeBron. That's LeBron.
Everyone on earth knows what LeBron is.
And listen, I'm like one of his, I wouldn't say a hater. I just don't like the way he goes about his business sometimes. Like the case in point, going down the court. But I will say this to his, I guess credit or to his defense, basketball is as much of a you're one of 5 players, and you are you are the superstar, and you could drag a team like a Cleveland Cavaliers.
The difference you make as a basketball player.
Right. Yeah. Hockey, you need all your teammates. You very rarely can be the guy that drag your team. And sure, there's Connor McDavid's, the Sidney Crosby's, Gretzky's. But like Alexander Ovechkin has only had one cup, only been to one cup. Like that just goes to show you he is one of the best of all time, and he still couldn't get it done. But so that's why basketball is a very me kind of sport, whereas hockey is team first
True.
kind of thing.
Let me say this though. When Jordan, I forget what championship this was, but when he jumps like in the air going yes, and then he's like pumping his fist a million times, somebody ran up to him and went to go give him a hug, and Jordan was like, "Oh, get the hell off me!" for like a split second. So I was just like, "All right, it's
That's
like
basketball. That's just
it's basketball.
Yes,
I think this is basketball, man.
That's
like
fair.
You're just so in the moment of how you just shot that shot because you could create the space. Like, if you play ball, you know what I mean? Like I played ball for years as well, but when there's nothing like fulfilling than you can either make someone fall or you score on someone. Like you get extra hype alone. Forget everybody else around you. You're just so locked in at that moment. So when you accomplish something of making, like I made someone fall and I was just like, oh my God, I'm the man one time. You know what I mean? And no one can, and they were like, dude, you made someone fall. I was like, I don't care, man. Like, come on, man. Come on. I'm nice. You know what I mean? So at that moment, he was just like, yo, it's all about me right now. But I'm sure in the locker room, he was like, yo, high five. You get what I'm saying? But you just locked in. So I'm not mad at LeBron by doing that. I just think he was just locked in. It was killer assassin mode. And he was just like, yo, bang. I did it. And it's not, listen, let me make this clear too. All about everybody that's looking at Jordan, that he beat Jordans. Let me make this clear to y'all right now. Reason why he's beating all these damn scores and these numbers is because he's been playing since he was 18 goddamn years old. He's 40. And Jordan stopped playing at like injured. 36.
Never got injured. Never had to miss the season.
And there's like 3 guys that play defense in the league prior to the playoffs.
Come on.
I'm just such a get off my lawn Jordan fan that, and there's so much other shit that LeBron does that bothers me. And even like when he's just so dramatic, his flopping when he's on the ground, the way he's like, oh my knee, and even like his own bench isn't looking at him. Everyone's just like, like you're fine. You're fine. Everyone knows you don't get hurt. Like just get up.
All right. So listen, I got a clip to show you guys, and I want to talk about it. I was gonna this is I'm just gonna share my screen. You guys are gonna watch it, and you guys are gonna talk. We're gonna talk about it live. All right, it's gotta get over the. I'm just sharing my screen here. Look, this is what we call American ice football, and it's absolutely incredible. I was gonna clip out the commentator, but I think it's even funnier. Listen to the commentator. So get a load of this.
So, wieder der Ball beim Quarterback. Das ist der lange Pass nach außen. Und der ist gefangen. Und der ist gefangen. Und jetzt geht's in Richtung Endzone. Touchdown! Touchdown!
Dude.
Amazing. That is so
This
amazing.
is a real sport. First of all, I don't know why it's American ice football. I guess American football. Now I get it.
Antwort! Das ist die Chance zur Antwort für die Wessis.
Fire! The Riz on that.
I would love to play this.
Oh no!
Oh no! Oh, it's going downhill. Oh no!
Und Schanbacher kommt nicht auf die Füße. So, ein Pass nach vorne.
What the?
Are they on ice skates?
Weiter geht's.
Look,
Sneakers.
Und er bleibt auf dem Bein.
Look at this.
Schanbacher, der Quarterback.
Oh,
hier nicht als Quarterback fungiert.
Slide
Ist das meiner Meinung nach korrekt? Eigentlich in der Rolle als Quarterback.
Eigentlich.
Das ist das Regelwerk beim Eisfootball.
Awesome. What's that?
That was great, man.
I'm amazed. I love that. And also, they had a meeting and they were like, all right, I want to put football on ice. Great. So you're going to have like ice skates. No. Sneakers.
No. We want people.
I just want to know where the bong was when they thought of this shit. Like,
No, why? Because if they played in skates, it would be so much more physical, and you would lose a little bit of the entertainment value because it would become so competitive. But on shoes, sneakers, these guys,
that's fire.
The high snap, he couldn't even move.
You see when he changes direction, you have to literally come to a complete stop and then get going and start.
That's so crazy. I ain't gonna lie. That's fucking crazy.
Yo, that would be so. You really do need pads though, because you probably hit the ice so many times.
Oh yeah. I want that.
But I would love to play that. That looks fun as hell.
Man. So, guys, shout out to the 695 people in the building. Of course, we have special guest Emory Hunt, man, in the building here. guys, if you want to watch some stuff, man, just go rewind to the beginning, and you can see a lot of the great tidbits on Shedeur Sanders and all the other draft prospects that we asked for that could be potentially a giant here. So, guys, man, we're at an hour and 14, I should say. It's time to wrap up. What do you think?
Let's go watch this basketball game finish up.
And it is close. It is very close at halftime. We wanted to give it our chat some ability to get out there. So almost 700 of you guys, 700. Now we are at 700. All 700, get out there. I bet on Houston. Let's go Cougars. Let's get a W here. Let's get a W. Oh, and I'm being remiss.
Oh, here we go. Here we go. E.
For all the Duke fans out there, I'm sorry, you choked. So
wow.
Okay.
I can't breathe.
Okay.
Right. Biggest choke job this side of the Mississippi. Unbelievable, and it couldn't happen to a worse program or a better program. I don't know what exactly to say there, but sorry, Duke, you're not in the championship. And that's a team full of NBA players right there. Masterful choke job by the Duke Blue Devils there. Sorry.
They were up 9 with 2 minutes left, I think.
Dude, they were up big. It was 5 with like less than a minute left.
Coach K would never.
He's rolling over in his grave, even though he's not dead.
He's alive, bro.
He's rolling over his grave, even though he's not dead.
Whoa.
Can't he just be in his bed or something?
They kept showing him too. They kept showing his rat ass face. Sorry, I'm not a Duke fan, as you can see. So
I can tell. I can see that.
And guys, this was our week show here. As far as we usually do it on Tuesdays. We did it on Mondays for you guys. Tomorrow, celebrating my birthday, man. So I figured we all take a day off, man. So of course, man, happy birthday to Eli Rax, aka Vibes here, man. So guys, of course, man.
What you got tomorrow? You going to get some sangria? What are you doing? Are we partying? What are we doing?
Listen, man, if I have no idea. I'm gonna be honest. Shout out to the missus. She got everything under control. I have no idea. She was like, "You better take off," and I'm like, "All right, I'll try to take off."
This worked out. That's why
we did Emory on a Monday. Now it makes sense.
Perfect sense here.
Yeah.
You could have just,
all right, I'll move
some
things around. Move some things around, babe. I'll make it work.
Like, how's Monday?
Yeah, right.
Sorry, guys. Emory could only do a Monday. No Tuesday show. Back with your regular program.
Was right. But you know what? Damn, why I couldn't do Tuesday? That's crazy. Yeah. I should have did Tuesday. I don't know why I didn't do Tuesday.
Nah, dude. Go enjoy yourself. We love you, E. Have a freaking happy birthday. Couldn't be partners with a better man. You're the best, E. You're the absolute best. Have a fucking birthday.
Thank you. And guys, man, shout out to the revivalists in the chat. And of course, man, on behalf of my brothers, you guys know where they are. And that's Mr. Glass half full of nets.
Steve the Genius.
Let's go, baby.
Let's go. That. And of course, my brother El Jefe, aka White Jersey, aka Blue Jersey, aka El Jefe is in the building. Or should I say, pat the ball twice, talking to the food guy. I just want to say one thing, brother, before we get out of here. I apologize. One thing. How the hell did you recreate the drive-through voice guy, the McDonald's?
Oh, so I got this little megaphone thing in my garage, and so I just hold that right up to the phone, take a picture of a Wendy's drive-through. It's show business. I won't.
You can't give away all the secrets.
Can't give away all the secrets now, but
even though I just did.
Yeah. Hell, guys, but of course it's your boy Eli Rax, aka Vibes. See you guys on the next one. Peace and blessings.
Happy birthday, Eli! I believe in Eli.
New York Revival, I'm in the building.
Let's go.
Live with the Woodward Roll!
Let's go.